Yeah, I've got a dangly wire, and it's dangling. Okay, let's put some lights on. Oh, there we go. We can see what we're doing now, can't we? Oh, right, there we are. Let's have a look now. Let's go live here. Let's put that up there. Let's see what you lot can see. Okay. Let's see if I can put that up there. Morning, everybody. Okay, let's have a look. Right, let's see what we've got. Oh, hello. Right, you're on it. Morning, Ali. Right, let me just put hello to you all. Hello. There we go. Bam. There we are. Right, good morning, good morning. Okay. Hello, 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 and hello. Yeah, there we go. Petra, hi. Good morning. Joke. I love it. Morning, sweet. Let me. Oh yeah, you can see quite well on there. I've put these from the workshop I done yesterday. Morning, Ruth. So before I start, just a quick one. So I think these were from Stamperia. So yeah, played around. Morning, Sarah. Played around with backgrounds and then decided I don't normally do this, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought I'd because I enjoyed doing the backgrounds, I decided to have a play with some more backgrounds today. So morning, Sarah, on the Facebook page. So obviously I've got YouTube and Facebook running simultaneously. YouTube has the overhead version, and then the Facebook group has this side-by-side one over here. So morning, Trudy. Hope you're well. So I'm going to do a Lavinia style background again, and the what am I going to use? I've got some writing here, so I'm actually going to put some writing on it this time, just to show you that sort of added little bit of depth and things like that you can get. And I took a photo of what I'm using. Now I'm just going to quickly go through this just in case you want to run and play along with me. I've got one of the magic watercolour sponges. Hi, Jan. Obviously you can see it's used. Morning, Moira. Morning, Terry. So, you know, these are great. Very, very good, you know. So if you've got one, we need one for today. And then I've showed you the colours I'm using, which were on the photo: crackles pistachio, peacock feathers, wilted violet, pickled raspberry, lumberjack plaid, rusty hinge. And I'm going to do two different versions. I might do two versions of each of these colour sets: dusty concord, aged mahogany, Victorian velvet, tea dye, and dried marigold. Been home for 2 weeks and have... Oh, bless you. Oh, right. So, hi, Christine, Mandy, Tracy, Ruth, Lydia. Hello, hello, hello. So that's all that done. So, oh, we're on the dot, 10 o'clock. Now, it's not going to be a long thing. Hi, Annette. So I just thought to myself, well, you know, so I really enjoyed doing these with the ladies. You know, so the backgrounds I've done with these were just morning, Trace. The backgrounds I've done with these were just oxide sprays spritzed onto grey board. I've sprayed that at the back as well. And then I've just built up the layer. So that was really, really easy. The effect is obviously off the Stamperia bits that I put on. Hi, Kay. Morning, Kim. Morning. And then the same with this. This is from the extra large tags that I sell. And that's the inner of that. So you get two. And then again, this... Oh, crikey, we've got textured paste on there. I've got glitter texture from Funky Fossil. I've got so many different bits and bobs now. We kept changing the colours. You know, we're just not happy. Then ended up putting dinkles on. So I had a right blinking to-doodle with that. But everybody was the same. Nobody could choose what they wanted. So the backgrounds were just like mad. And again, I just sprayed, put some dinkles on and just mooched it all around. And we kept the inner bit on there. As you can see, I put a bit of textured paste over that. So with the circles, you can't even tell that I put the inner in. So when you buy the tag, is this my K? Is this my K? I don't know. So with the circle, you can actually keep... the pack comes with the two inners, so you can keep it or not. If you decide to cover it with papers, as the ladies did, it covers beautifully and you don't see any of that. So as you can see, I've done a colour on that. But that's the back anyway, so you can always put a nice piece there with regards to, you know, to, from, or whatever. Oh, vandalising the place. So that's them. And, you know, like I say, I was really pleased with the look of that. I don't normally do this, but I enjoyed doing it, so I might look to actually do my own stuff, you know, because £5 for a pack, which is good value, to be fair, at Crafty Corner. But it's another cost sort of thing, so we'll see. Anyway, right, so yeah, please do your thumbs up, comment, subscribe. It's all free. Kay from Rotherham. Hello, Kay from Rotherham. so yeah, so thank you for all supporting me. It all helps the channel grow and all that to doodles, but I'm here to play. So it is going to be Lavinia style, but with a twist. Okay, I'm not doing any texture paste. This is all stuff done. I've got a couple of elements as well, so I might bring some elements into it. But yeah, so I am going to look to do some of this, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what my machine does. Okay, so leave it with me. Right, so whack these out the way. Now, I am going to be totally honest with you. I have got some pan pastels over there, which I might bring in depending on how they look. So I have got a little lid with a bit of rusting with for my sponge. So I will put that there and I'll dip into it as we go. So if you dip in, it's just plain water. I'm not intending on any bleach, but if I do, I'll tell you. Now, I am using Pink Frog Super Smooth. Hi, Angie. Pink Frog Super Smooth. Now, which one have I got? I have got the 15 by 30 sheets cut in half, gives you obviously 6 by 6 squares. This is really good because you can just halve it and you've got your card ready done. So Pink Frog have got an array of different sized cards. They've got the DLs, they've got loads. So have a look because you really are missing out. And there's 50 in here. Good, damn good quality cards. So that's that bit done and dusted. Now let's play. So I've got 4. So this is my intention today. I'm going to do 4 different backgrounds. I've got these sets of colours, so I'm going to do 2 different soils on each. So I'm going to start with this set first, which is the Dusty Concord, Aged Mahogany, the Victorian Velvet, Tea Dye and Dried Marigold. Okay, and then we'll leave that over there. So 2 pieces of card, I'm going to put those 2 over there. And I have got some stencil brushes, so I've got some smaller ones, and that's to use with my pan pastel, so I'll put them over there. And then I've got my larger ones. So basically I've just got the colours that suit this. Okay, so I'm going to pop these out. Oh, bit of an anal moment there. Let me turn that round so it goes the right way. Now I don't know whether them 2, or maybe I need a bit darker. Let me have a look. Maybe gathered twigs. What am I thinking? Let me have a look. Maybe more of, that's okay. Maybe more of an orange. Let me look at this a second. Maybe dried marigold. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change the tea dye. Now, Rusty Hinges over in this set. This is for something different. I'm going to put that there as a just in case. Now, on here, this set of colours, I've got Rusty Hinge, Lumberjack, Pickled Raspberry, Wilted Violet, Peacock Feathers, and Crackled Pistachio. Beautiful colours. So that's this. But this, I'm not sure on this. So, let's play. I have no idea what I'm doing, as per normal with me. But as always, I'm going to start with a lighter colour. So let me just put them out the way. So I'm going to start with Dried Marigold. Now, I have tried my very best. I've got a spare bit of card here. And I have tried, as you do, just to sort of take off whatever was on my brush. Which I don't normally do because I like to keep my brush as mad as I possibly can. So I'm using the Distressed Oxide Dry Marigold, and the first thing I'm going to do is obviously pop some on my brush. Now, a lot of you go like this, which is great, but to give plenty of chance and load up your brush, just do those circle motions, yeah? And it will cover all around. Now, we are just tickling that top end, and there's a curve to these brushes, and it's just that top end we're tickling. And I want to sort of play around. Let me move me let me put you there. I'm going to play around And I am going to do this sort of around the bottom area, maybe up to half sort of thing. Then I'm going to put a little bit more on. Now, I'm not too worried about, you know me, there might be water going on it, but not at the minute. But I want to take it to the edge. Normally I'll leave the edges, but I'm actually going to take this to the edge. Let me just get a bit of spare paper. I'm prepared. I've got some over here. Goodness me. There's a first for you. This is just photocopier paper. Let me just put that there. Right, there we go. There, that's better for you. Can you guys? Yeah, you can see as well. Right, oh, yeah. So I can dab off if need be. So I'm just going to do my colour them there. And I'm just going to sort of maybe go about 2/3 up. Now, this is a 6x6 card. 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. As I said, it is super smooth, which I think that's lovely. And that's the dry marigold. Okay. Now, I'm going to try the tea dye. I just want to see whether it gives me that difference I'm looking for. And I'm using the same brush as you do. No, I need it to be a bit more. So I'm going to get the spiced marmalade, which is obviously a little bit more of a boom in your face. Maybe too much, so not too much. Ooh, dearie me. Enough. So again, you've just seen I've just done a couple of little circles. I've not loaded up. If you're unsure and you don't know what you're doing, just pop it on there. And all you want to do is just add a little bit more depth of colour here and there. Nothing too major. Okay, so there's a lot of layers going to go onto this. So the spice marmalade, I would say, would be the better option than the tea dye. So I'm going to put those over here out the way. So I'm now going to add into this Victorian velvet. So I'm going to get this. Now, I did use a bit of purple on this. Naughty Lisa. I do go off on a tangent and sort of, there we go. That's better. Plenty on your brush and it's taken away that. So I am now going to sort of not go too high up, but I want to bring it in to those mixes of colour that I've just put on. So this is all about a technique now where, I mean, this could be like your sunsets, sunrises. It just depends on the colour scheme that you want to play around with. But I want to give you that sort of fantasy sort of look as well. And I say Lavinia sort of style because the papers are gorgeous, and like we're all sort of holding on to papers and not using them. It's like, use your paper. So as you can see, I have blended. I'm going to bring that up for you, and you can just say you've got a little bit up here. I brought it in so it just plays around with that. There you go. Just plays around with the placement. So you sort of want light and dark areas, and you want that mix going on. Right, so we've got the aged mahogany now, and I've got a brown brush for this one. I do love this, and the reason why I like this is because it gives you that sort of browny red, which is going to complement that bit of pink, which will then go into the purple. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to sort of blend colours together without blending them realistically. So again, I'm going to take it in, not too much, just enough so it brings it in, and I'm going to put a little bit of darkness into the corner there because I want the purple that I'm going to put on to sort of bring it all to life. Now I'm going to get some purple now, so I'm going to I'm going to keep the lid off there, and I'm going to get my purple brush. So I've got my Dusty Concord, which I thought this would be about right, maybe a little bit darker, we'll see. But I'm just going to, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's doing what I need it to do. So you see now, then the thing I love with the oxides is how well they actually blend that chalkiness. It's like, oh yeah. So as you can see, I've got white areas, so I want to bring it in. So it really is giving that depth in that moody piece. And the pink frog card just lets it all pop in its own way. So I am just blending that white space out. Now, I think that has gone on. I mean, you could just leave it like that, and I'm sure most of you would be happy with a background like that. Hi, Jules, Janine, Kathy, hi, Trish, Sharon, hello, hello, hello. How's everybody on there? Fabulous. Let me. Oh no, I ain't going to click go out, go in, because before you know it, I'm watching adverts. It's taking me forever to get back. Now I am just going to have a little bit more of a darker. So I'm going to get my aged mahogany, and I'm just going to look at just popping a little bit more on. So this is where you can now start to bring together. I mean, that is really a dramatic. So if you can imagine a stag, a fairy, trees, that is depth. Yeah, very, very easy. Now I know I say, oh, very, very easy, but it is. You've just watched me do this. So you can stop, rewind, do again, over and over. So I'm just thinking now, where do I want this cloud? Because to me, it's cloudy. And I'm going to take this image and these colours onto a Lavinia style. So I'm showing you your bare bones. Yeah, so this is your bare bones. So let's imagine this is a sunset or a sunrise. Yeah, let's pop a few clouds in. There we go. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? And that's got a real depth and effect on there now. You've seen the colours I've used. You've seen how I've done it. You can do this. Because I know a lot of you going, oh, you make it look so easy. Maybe I do, but I'm showing you how to do it. Just tickle that edge. Yeah. A lot of you, when you come and watch me demo, I get you to hold the brush, because it's not that. It's that tickle. That's all you've got to do. The tickle. Yeah, like tickle, tickle. Yep. So there we go. So to me, that is a dramatic background. Now, I'm going to take these colours because I like what we've got there. Yeah. And I'm going to do again. So we're going to do it again. You're going to keep that because you're going to go, wow, I've created that. Because yes, you have. I'm sure you will. Okay. So we're going to do it all over again. And I'm going to take away the dried marigold because it's no use for me. So I'm going to put that in my little stash. And I'm going to run, did I use dried marigold? Oh, it's tea dye. I wanted the dry marigold, didn't I? Sugar, I think, struggling with the tickle. A dragon, yeah, rusty, yeah, okay. You're getting what I'm seeing. You're seeing what I'm getting, yeah? So there's your background, the depth. Yeah, so anything flying, fairies, dragons, a crow, owl, twig, yeah? Very dramatic, yeah? But you've just seen how I've built that up. Now we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it with that sort of Lavinia twist, yeah? So, I bet I have just... Oh, I bet you have. Oh, thanks, Mom. So Mom's in the house. Hi, Mom. Kai, I'm sure you have the dragon. I'm sure you can replicate this and really put the depth into it, okay? So let's build up my layers. So we'll do it as we've done again. And then this time we're going to do that Lavinia style. So again, we're going to do super smooth. I've got a 6x6 or 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. I'm going to leave that there because if you are following along with me, you can see how I've done it and what I've done. What I am going to do is I'm going to... Hi, Mum! I'm going to turn it over like that for you. And just pop it there. You have Kate, and I'll be borrowing it. Oh, Moira's on the... She's after your stash. Watch out, peeps. Right, so we're going to start with the marigold. Now, the difference this time is I've got the Lavinia stencil. Hello, everyone. I love backgrounds. Fabulous. It's Mom's fault I'm doing backgrounds, by the way. So this is the Lavinia circle stamp. And this, to me, is how we're now going to use the sponge, and we're going to use the pan pastels. Okay, so I'm going to put that over here while you're getting all your bits. I'm going to get the dried marigold and do the same. I'm going to layer that bottom bit up. Oh, excuse me, got the teacups this morning. And again, what I'm going to do is, you've seen how I'm loading it now. You can do that as rough as you want, right? However, you've got the curve. I'd rather you delight and build it up slowly, yeah? And just let it tickle over. Because it's super smooth, it really does tickle over the card. Now, I've put a fair bit there Let's put some up because we've got plenty on here. Let's balance it up. Let's put some on. Go over the corners so you haven't got to worry about building up your corners. Let's bring it down. So what I want to do now is just make sure that sort of bottom section has got ink on it, yeah? Okay. Tickle, 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 tickle. And if you want a little bit more with that depth, bear in mind we've got all those other colour layers to put on yet. Yeah. So you can see I'm just adding a little bit more pressure. Yeah. So when I say pressure, there's a tickle, a little rub, and that's a little bit more. You can see, watch how my brush is moving. Yeah. So hopefully this is giving you your tips you need. So that's your dried marmalade. So I'm going to go in with spiced. Okay, sharing the dragons. Can I borrow it too? Oh, I think I might have some, you know, the Lavinia dragons somewhere. So I'm going to add spiced marmalade. Now I changed that from tea dye because it wasn't giving me that extra kick I wanted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up and then I'm going to bring it in. Now as you bring it in with the oxides, they blend beautifully. Okay. So again, you start with that darker blob. Now I like the darker blobs because if I'm adding water or any other texture, it is going to give me the effect I want. Now if you don't like doing that and you think, oh, I'll ruin the card, please give yourself a little bit of a chance to play around. I'm looking at some dragon imagery, which I'm going to do on the laser. So there is some dragons and crowers because that's what you asked for. Going to be bringing those in. Now, because I've lost that light a bit, I'm just going to just play and just tickle a little bit more. And bear in mind, I haven't changed my brush. So I'm just skipping over, okay? So that's your dried marmalade and your dried marigold, crikey, dried marigold and spiced marmalade. So it's Victorian velvet turn now. What have I done there? Well, that's the brown, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So Victorian velvet, beautiful colours that complement. And again, we're going to transition these two colours we've already put on. We're going to transition. So I'm going to start here. And I'm going to come down into it, but I'm also going to go up, yeah? And just think now of how dramatic you want this scene to be. Now, with some of the Lavinia papers, you've got colour in different places. So let's bring the colour down. Because when the designs or the digital designs are put together, just a movement of colour. So let's just bring that together. So doing it by hand gives you that lovely sort of texture to play around. So again, we've got that sort of mix. So there's not a lot of Victorian velvet because now the main two colours are aged mahogany and dusty concord. So the aged mahogany, I'm going to do the brown. As you can see, it's more of that pinky, but I do love the way this blends. Absolutely. So again, I'm going to do the same as what we've done on this one. I'm going to think of where I want those darker corners maybe. And then I'm going to bring it in. So we've got that beautiful blend. Yeah. And you can see how much I'm rubbing. Okay. Hopefully you guys can also see. Yeah. So I was just talking to those in the Facebook. But I must admit, if you are on Facebook, it is... I'm just going to put some dark in the corner now, which I didn't do because that was more of a cloud. But on this one, I want to build it up because we're going to put some of those orbs in and things like that, and the movement and the twists. So you will never replicate this either unless you put it in a scanner and photocopy it. Unfortunately, I can never replicate. That's why I always say my stuff's one-off. Because I'm not going to sit there and go, here we do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again. I like stuff to be one-off pieces. So we're now going to blend this lovely dusty concord. So this is all oxides. I haven't done any elements on this, but I might add elements onto it in a little bit. We will see. Now, let's add a little bit of that into here. Let's take it up a little bit. Let's maybe put, I can see a little bit of something here. So when you're looking at your colours, don't stop, because if you think to yourself, oh, I don't like that line there, blend it off, yeah? Blend it out, yeah? Please don't be shy and think, I've just ruined it. You haven't. Now, I want a different colour in that, so I'm going to pick up the pink, which would have been the Victorian Velvet, and I just want to blend that over like so. And then I can get that if I wanted to, and I think, yeah, we'll do that. So that's what you've now got, which is very, very similar to that, but you've got that sort of sunrise effect. Yeah, you can have it whichever way you like. So let's put those colours there a second. So what I want to do now is actually start adding. So I'm going to leave that one because you can stick on your bits and bobs. This one is where you're going to start doing your different blends in your different sort of areas of stuff. Now, I'm going to start by just seeing. Yeah, you think so, oh, it does actually work very, very lightly. Now, I have got, let me just quickly just rub over. Now, this is with a dry tissue. So I'm going to be totally straight so there's no other residue. Everybody loves dragons. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on here now. What you can do is pop it over. I'm going to start on this corner here, and you can just rub just to see if anything will come off as such, yeah? And as you can see, very, very lightly, I've already got a very light effect of what's lifted with the eraser. Yeah, and they're available on loads of different places. Magic watercolour sponge erasers. They're brilliant, yeah? Okay, just so you guys can also see. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Oh, crumbs, what am I doing? There we go. Just pressed the button. I didn't want it, but there you go. Okay. And I'm going to put them back up here out the way. So, again, I'm going to move this around, and I'm going to do some different colours. And, again, I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure here and there just to see. And, again, we've just got that little lift of something in the background. Only light. And I'm going to just put a little bit of something there. Yeah. And again, you can just see it's lifting a layer. That's all it's doing. And it's just like one of them. Now, if I put a little bit of water to this, and because I've scrunched that up, I'm going to add the water there. I'm going to dab off, right? So I don't want it sort of drowned, but I do want sort of a little bit of take away. Now, when you've had the water, you can see the difference. Bam. Now, I'm just going to get my dry tissue. Always have a dry tissue because we're going to layer on, so I ain't too worried about any smudging or anything like that. Don't get sort of anal and think, oh no, I've ruined it. All the thing I will say is if it's wet underneath, just make sure it's dry because you're going on to oxides. So I'm just going to lightly do one here, maybe one there, and maybe just one up here. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to dab. Yep. Simple. So let me just dab that off. So that's the start of our layering. Now, it's time to add some colours to this. And this is where I love my pan pastels. So I want some sort of yellows and I want some purples to complement what's already on there. So I am very lucky in the fact that I have got sets of pan pastels. Now, I have got the striking colours set, which has got some lovely purples and pinks in, and I've also got the pastel sets. Now I'm going to start off probably with the pastel sets because I don't want to overdo and I don't want to take away the delicateness of this, okay, because we are going to be stamping on. In fact, I'm going to stamp first because sometimes when you put your pan pastels on, you don't get the stamp that you want. Now, because we've got purple running through this, I am going to get VersaFine Clair now. Let me have a look at something. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with lilac blue. And that complements sort of these colours here, but it's light enough for me to look at that now. For you to get that lovely run, and then you've got the Lavinia swirls and all that. I'm not going to put the swirls on, but I am going to grab. And what I would say is just make sure the writing's running the right way. So all I'm going to do is I've grabbed some writing. Dragons and Skulls, yeah, they're coming. Hello, Rose, how are you? Hopefully you're well. So all I'm going to do here is just see. So you see what we've got there, yeah? And I want to just do it very, very lightly. So I am going to first, then I'm going to do secondary and third, yeah? Just so you have got that very, very light print in the lilac running through the background of that that lovely. So can you just see, we will dry it off in a second, but can you just see how you've got that lovely light effect of how the papers are? Okay, so I'm going to pop that up out the way. Let's whack that out there. Let me just get my heater. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's got no power to it. Go, Lisa. So I unplugged some material and I thought, what have I unplugged? I know now. It was my dryer. So let me just plug it back in. Ta-da! Sorry, you guys, bouncing around like a loon. So this will just dry off that Versa that we've just put on. And then what we're going to do now is we are going to build up the style of Dreamscape papers. Now, I know I've done a video just the other day with how to do it. And I've had a lot of questions off that. So hence why I'm here again, doing it again. So papers, stencil, let me get these little beauties. So pan pastels. Now there is loads and loads of pan pastels. There's loads of colours. Again, they are not cheap, but they last forever. Now I've got pinks, we've got the lilacs, we've got blues, and I've also got, whoop, let me turn it round, these yellows, and these are the colours I'm going to use for this background. So just so you can see, I am going to be using sort of this yellow brush, because I don't, I'll tell you what, actually, I'm going to use this sort of orangey colour for those. And then the pinks, I'm going to probably use this purple. Maybe not. Yeah, if I put some, yeah, okay, we'll do the purple. So I'm going to use those two brushes. I'm going to move them out the way, and I've got a white brush, which ain't very white, but that's what I use for my white. And I'm going to put those down. So let's move them out the way. So I'm going to put these off camera so you've seen what I'm using. So these sort of colours here, I will give you the colours when I've finished, just so you know what I've used. So the first thing I'm going to do is go around this sort of beautiful orange-esque colour. Now I'm just going to plonk that down, and I am going to go into my pan pastels, and I'm going to look at the darker area, and I'm just going to lightly, yeah. Now where you've got a buildable colour, you can do one of two things. You can do it off like that, so you've smudged it, which gives another lovely effect. Or you can just like, I'm building up like the different colours, so I'm adding 2 or 3 different ones, and I don't want to take away what you're actually building. So you see here, and we've still got that little bit of light. Now I'm going to go back over with some writing, but I also want that back drop and the layers. So all you're doing is layering. Yeah, now remember, this is dry. A lot of you will ask, how will you seal it? Will you do whatever? If I want to be really fancy, I will get Daler Rownley fixative, spray it, leave it done. If I want to be cheap and nasty, I'll get my hairspray, go like that and leave it. To be fair, I won't fix this at all, because I will just probably pop this on the side and just go, there you go, done, tickety-boo. So again, everyone's got different budgets. I'm not telling you what to buy, what to do, etc. You do what you do, yeah? Plain and simple. So this is a really, really easy way just to build up that beautiful depth and different colours. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of the purples and the lilacs in that lighter area. So I'm going to go smaller, and I am using a lot. As you can see, it's going to be quite a light lilac. I'm just going to take that away just so you can see how light it is. Now, that's probably too light, but if you feel that's the case, just move it along, yeah? So let's have a look. I'm gonna go back on with that again. I'm gonna dab it off this time, and I'm just gonna put one here, just random. And I am coming down now into that sort of orange area. Now, if like that I've just hit one, don't worry, just add a little bit of a blend if you want. Yes, very effective, and it really is easy to do, as you can clearly see. So I don't like that. Got to pop out. Yeah, it's all right, Trudy. Have a fabulous day, sweetheart. Go and do what you need to do. I'm now going to go over that with the light, or that sort of very light orange. And this is what I love with pan pastels. It has taken away that nasty piece. So there's your layer on that. Very, very light, very effective. And I'm going to add, just because I can, let me just take away. Now there is colour on that from see you later, Trudes. So I'm just going to lightly just whatever's on there, and as you can see, I've got that lighter, darker purple sort of thing. But I now want to just I've got a frog in my throat. Just going to go over it with a bit of a lighter one again, just to balance it out a bit. Okay, so again, you can quite easily just add a little bit of kiss of the pan pastel into it if you think not liking it. So that is really effective. So from that with just a dramatic background to that dreamy sort of esque sort of thing. Now again, let's put that little layer on with regards to the writing. So all I'm going to do is the same again. Lilac blue, and is it the right way around? Yes, I believe so. And I'm just going to pop it on my finger like that. Now you can quite easily, I don't know what of what's it is, but you can pop it down. Now I'm going to do it where you've got that more sort of area here, just to, and then I'm just going to bring it just down a little bit. Now just remember it's second generation, so I'm going to print off, and then I'm just going to take it just about there, just a little bit. Don't overdo it, that's all you need really. And to me, that's a lovely paper. So let me just dry this off, because we don't want it to smudge, or we don't want to, why do again? Why not? Yeah. You want to put your hand on, squidge it around, whatever, do what you like, yeah? Just being me. So there, yeah, there you go. That is, again, you can have your swirly bits on and all that sort of to do. I don't know where, let me just see if I can find, see that's me doing a, me. Oh, crumbs. Let me just say, I've got to type 20 million things down. I should have done this before, so my bad, people. Let me just see if I can find the swirly bit. I don't know whether it's in here or... Whoop, there we go. I'm not sure. I don't think it is in my little Lavinia. These are my little ones that I always use. No. Then my little animal things. What's in this bit? I can see some witsy bitsy, diddly doo keys. Oh, there's stuff in here I've never even used. Wow, shocking. But you could do quite a nice castle, and yeah. But there you go. Anyway, I don't know where my little my swirly bit. It's probably in my other pot of stuff. For those of you that know me, I've just got a box and I've just rammed everything in there. So I'll have to look, and I'll add that, because I think it'll make a nice effect. So let's whack that out the way. That's that done and dusted. So there's that one. Yeah, Miss Beginning. Yeah, so it's super smooth. I'll show you what I've used. So I have used the 15 by 30. Cut it in half, so you've got two 6 by 6s basically. So you've got two 15 by 15, which is your 6-inch square. Yeah, super smooth is the best. It's just amazing. So there's that. That's that colour combination. Now I want to now show you the other colour combination. So let me just clear everything out the way, as you do. Colour myself in as I go. Let's put them out the way. Right, let's put that there. So I'm going to move all this. You're very welcome, Rose. If you don't ask, you don't know, sweetie. Like you say, if you've missed them, it saves you rewinding and watching it all again, isn't it? Right. We're here now. We're in the moment. Right, so let me move those over there. Let me get some more paper. Or let's, I'll tell you what we'll do that. There you go. So there's 2. So you've got your beautiful dramatic cloud, sunrise, sunset. And then you've got that sort of effect. Now we're going to do the same again, but different. With a different colour scheme. So I'm going to leave these here. Just so it sort of reminds you of what. And this is the colour scheme we're going to use now. Which is rusty hinge, lumberjack, pickled raspberry, wilted violet, peacock feathers, and crackled pistachio. They're away. Okay, that's a good one then. So, I must admit they are, as I'm looking through the camera, I can see what I want to do with these cards, yeah? So, well, they're backgrounds. You do what you like. Because I can't wait to see what you guys do. So, let's put those, let me move that over there. I'm putting them there so you can see. That's the effects that we're going for again. So, the first one I'm going to do is like this, like sort of sky, but this is going to be really dramatic, totally different. Now I haven't used any elements because I didn't think any of these colours needed it, so I'm going to continue with how we are now. On this one I'm going to start with, let me move these colours out of the way because that was those colours. So on these ones I'm going to start with like the orange. So I'm going to, I'm going to do it like a reverse sort of thing now. So rusty hinge. So this is going to be, it's not going to be a sky sort of thing. It's just going to be colour and dramatic, basically. Quite dramatic. So I'm going to use the brown brush. So this is what we used prior. So I'm just going to do sort of a bit. There is no sort of rhyme or reason for this. I've got something in my head and I'm just trying to replicate what's in my head. Okay, so this is not what you're going to be expecting. So I'm going to start with that. Okay, that's that bit done. And then off that blend, I'm then going to add a red. Now, I'm going to add onto this orange, as such, the red. So again, lumberjack plaid, fabulous. I don't mind that being on there. It's one of them. If I want to brush it out and wash it out, I can do if I want. And all I want to do here is just add a little bit of, maybe a bit of depth into that. Just a little bit of red. Maybe go in here. So this is going to be, well, I don't know how it's going to end up. This might be like, maybe not this. I don't know. We're doing this together. I have no idea. Pickled raspberry. I would just like the colours and I want to see how they work together. So I am now going to take that into here and I'm going to take it around here. And I want a bit more of this. So don't be shy, like I say. Load up your brush, blend it in. Let's play around with that colour. And this is what I love about sort of playing around with different different mixes of colour, because you don't know what you're going to get. So wilted violets next on my little list. This is a gorgeous colour. This is proper like, ooh, wow, here we go sort of moment. So I'm going to take it into that sort of pink, and then we're going to blend it out into this. So this is going to be quite an interesting little bit of a blend going on into this. So again, it's me too. Oh, you love it. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Like I say, I never know what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm glad you're enjoying what I'm putting out there. And that's where, you know, if you can share, support, like, subscribe, you know. Oh, fabulous, Moira. I'm trying to keep it where it's easy enough for you to have a go, you know. So I'm really liking how this is coming along. I just don't want to spoil it now. This is the only problem when you start creating things. It's like, oh, I don't want to break it. Peacock feathers. So I've got my blue. Here we go. Now, this is where it could all go wrong. So I am going to... Here we go. Now this is all about your placement now. How am I going to do this? Let's have a think. I'm going to start here. And I'm going to bring it around. I think it's going to work, people. I think it's going to work. Okay. Let me bring it around. Let me just take it here. So I'm lightly, wherever you've got a line, just blend it in. Don't leave it. Keep your brush moving, because with a layer, you can layer, yeah? Keep your layers. Keep on going, yeah? Don't worry. Okay, you make it look... Oh, bless you, Ali. I'm trying to do it as simple as... It's that... Where you've got that round, it's that little top bit. That's all you're tickling around, yeah? That's all you're tickling. Let's take it into this. Let's change the colour there. It's all about your layers. Yeah, I've got rubber bands around my stencil. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. But sometimes you need that. I've never tried that, actually, Chris. That might be a really interesting way to try things. Rubber bands. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else use rubber bands? Oh, no, I've got my green stencil brush for crackled pistachio. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to pop it. Let's have a look. Let me get some ink on that. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to work. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really interesting way, to be fair. Oh, okay. That's working there nicely. So don't forget, blend it in, blend it in, blend it in. Yeah. I can't grip. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Perfect. Fabulous. So that's a good technique to share, actually. That really is. Fabulous technique to share. So I'm just going to bring this along here, and I'm going to add a bit more of that peacock feather in. So let me just blend this light a bit out here, because like I say, keep all your colour on. Okay. Now, let's go back to peacock feathers. Let's put that there. So only a smidgen, not too much, because this is a lovely colour in its own right. But I just want to blend it in to that crackled pistachio, just to get that blend a little bit more. Yeah. And again, I'm going to take it here because I've lost that depth. So I just want to play around with that, going into the purple. Just remember, these are all complementary colours. So it's not like you're going to drop a big doodah and go, oh, don't like that. Yeah. So I'm just going to have a little tickle there. And just remember, that's all I'm doing. Yeah. Oh, honestly, I've got arthritis coming in my thumb now, and it's like really getting quite painful. And luckily, I just hold. Everything's in my right hand because I'm right-handed. But yeah, I get that totally. Now I'm going to let's put those there. So those are all the colours. I'm going to get the pink, and I'm just going to re-go over, and I'm just going to take it now, because I can see when you're looking that there's no blend, and I've got little spottly gaps. Yeah. So I just want to now blend this into the colour. So where I've got the pink, I just want to take it into the colour that it's beside, just to lose that white spottle effect. But it's actually blending my colours together. And obviously your purple, you're going to do the same here. But don't forget, if you've got colour on your brush, it's going to take it into the colour. So don't lose the blend that you've just done. Okay. So to me, voila, one background. So same but different. But look at the colours that you've got now, yeah? Now, I'm not going to add water splats onto it or anything yet, but I might do on the sort of that Lavinia style, yeah? So let's do another one now using the same colours, and let's go for this effect. There's a lot of things that get really frustrating as we get older, I know. Right, I'm going to turn that over. We're going to start again. So again, we've got that lovely colour combination. Easy for you to recreate, Trace. I'm showing you in slow time. We're going to go for this effect. Now, on here, we've got more of a greeny sort of effect. So I'm going to use, let me just see if I have what we've got. Maybe Warm Breeze, or what we got here. Let me just see what this one is. Now I'm going to use Warm Breeze. I am going to use Warm Breeze. So I'm going to do the same. No, don't let nothing beat you. We're strong. So I'm going to use Warm Breeze to do that sort of effect in the background with the words. So I'm going to put that there. If you want to go and grab it, go and grab it. So we're going to do the same again, and we're going to do the colours as we did. Reverse the colours. Yeah, bum, 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 bum. Yeah. So we're going to start with Rusty Hinge in that middle area. In fact, let me just... Lisa, can you please put a list of the colours you have? Yeah, I have indeed. I've actually took a photo at the beginning. So these are the colours. If you want a screenshot, I'll put them there. So this is the colours now. So if you want to screenshot that, Rusty Hinge, Lumberjack Plaid, Pickled Raspberry. I've just swapped across and seen you ceiling. I think the camera just moved, Lisa. Oh, okay. Pass, I don't know. I'm still here. I can see me list. Wilted Violet, Peacock Feathers and Crackle Pistachio. So I've left it there long enough for you to pause this so you know what colours I'm using. Okay. And the colours I used for the other one, that's what I used. This is what I'm going to use for the writing. And then this are the colours that I'm going to use, that I used for the first one. And that's Dried Marigold, Spice Marmalade, Victorian Velvet, Aged Mahogany and Dusty Concord. Okay, so I'll leave that there a minute in case you want to screenshot it. Okay, the Facebook can only see the ceiling. Oh, can it? Okay. Oh, hello. Hi. What's happened there then? Oh, let's have a look. Ah, woohoo! Thanks. That's what happens when you're in the Facebook group. I'm sorry. My ceiling looks all right. There's no cobwebs. Was there any cobwebs up there? Oh, bless you. Right, and the colour I used on this one was Lilac Blue. Okay, so I'm going. I'll do the Facebook group now. Binges in the ceiling. Those were the first colours. I'm really sorry. I didn't realise you saw the ceiling. So those are the colours I used. Okay, bless you. Oh dear me. And then that's the VersaFine Claire that I used. And that gives you that background. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that gave you that background that we've done. And then we've just started this background, being you didn't see anything on the ceiling. And I used these are the colours. So that's Crackle Pistachio, Peacock Feathers, Wilted Violet, Pickled Raspberry, Lumberjack Plaid, Rusty Hinge, and I will be using Warm Breeze. Okay. Hi Theo, hope you're well. So let's crack on then with, so you can see, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Right, so we're going to start with Rusty Hinge, and we're going to start with that orange in the middle. So Rusty Hinge is your first colour down. And I'm going to sort of go from this effect. Like I say, I'll never replicate. That's just me. But I'm going to try and put a little bit more rust into this one. So I'm going to make it a bit of a bigger area. And I'm going to try and sort of have that smoothness, yeah? So when I say about the white bits, that's the sort of thing that I'm saying about. So that's your Rusty Hinge doing. So let's put that there. Then the next colour is Lumberjack, or just Jack in my general bits. Now, what did I do with the red on this one? Was it? Oh, we'll just use the brown brush. Well, wait. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just blend in to that. I mean, you could also use like candy apple. That would work out quite nice, actually. I'll tell you what might go. Let me just see. This is where I'm just going off a little bit. Oh no, it's paprika. There you are. Let's try this one. So I'm gonna put a bit of Emperor. Let's have a look. See if there you go. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's do a bit of that just to give it. You know when you just want a little bit more of a kick. So I've just dabbed. Now I dab on with the Lavinia. Everybody's different. You do you. Like I always say. Now I'm losing my orange. So let me just. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let me just go onto paprika. because we are playing mixy. Oh, that's proper in your face, doobie. That one is. There we go. Let's put that on. Oh, look at the difference that makes. So, I like my blend, but let's play around with some colour. There we go. So, lumberjack and that part's done there. I'm just going to whack that over there. Let's get on to pickled raspberry, which will be my pink brush. Let me do that. So, let's whack that over there. Pickled raspberry. And then we're just going to blend the pink into the red. And again, that's oxide and elements are now being blended together. And your brush isn't going to fall apart. You're not going to damage anything. So this is going to be a totally different, well, I'll say totally different look. It's going to be very similar, as you know. Just going to blend. So I'm just trying to blend things out just a little bit more on this one. Just because of the effect I know that I'm going to be layering off on it. So Wilted Violet's turn now. Love this colour. So this is a strong, bam in your face sort of. Let's blend it into that lovely pink. Let's take it along the edge. Blend it in. So don't be shy to sort of pull around with the colours. Let's pull that up here. Just bring it into there. And then I've got those lovely edges now to put like the greeny blue sort of thing, yeah. So I'm just going to pull that all together there. And in this one, because I've got blobs here and there, I'm just going to just tickle. You know me tickling. Let's tickle together. There you go. Right, so look on it. The colours just blends divine. I do like my oxides better. Not because of anything in particular. I just like the way that they blend. The elements have got their own little play, twist, etc. So I'm going to take peacock feathers into that purple, and I'm going to leave the edges so it's that lighter crackled pistachio. So I'm going to take it into the purple and then blend it out. So we've got that lovely blend going on, and there's no sort of harsh lines of where you're blending, okay? Very Galaxy X, this one, sort of thing. More so than that one. So we've really got that sort of twist of colour, and so it can dance, really. I love the normal distressings too as air trans. Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing. You do you. I like my oxides. I'm an oxide girl. And I have tried to play along with the inks, but I like the blend I get off these. I just can't swap. I wish I could, but then it'll just cost me more money anyway. So I do like my oxides. So crackle pistachio is the last bit. So we've got a bit of white. So let's start on inside and take it out nice and lightly. And I don't really want to see any white. So let's give it a little bit more of a harsher on that brush. Let's tickle it along. Let's take it into those colours. Yeah. And let's just play along with it nicely now. Okay. And let's pull this together. I mean, there's plenty of, I keep going in. You keep going into the pot. But there is actually plenty of colour on your brush. Your brushes hold so well. It's just habit. You know, you just keep, do a bit here and you do a bit there. Here a bit, there a bit, everywhere a bit. Doop-dee-doo-dee. I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere. I'll shut up though because I'll get banned. Right, so I've gone back onto me peacock feathers, whatever's on the brush. And I'm just going to have that little bit of blend because I don't really want to see any whitish sort of thing, yeah. So look at that now. Now let's start with the layers. So we have got the warm breeze, and I'm just going to get some random writing. I don't even know what it says. I know it's Lavinia. Right, so I'm just going to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on and then off. Whoops, no, I nearly went back on. So I am going to put this about here to begin with, yeah? You're singing it now. Fair enough. First, second, third generation. Let's take it along, because take it off on the one, and don't worry about where it goes on the second, because we're going to add those layers now. Yeah, so that's it. You might want to add some depending on how much we put on with the rest now. So we're going to go for this effect. I'm going to have to repeat this. Honestly, it's easier than you think, and I know it's naughty for me to say that, but it is, honestly. So let me just dry the Versa, and then we're going to get our wet sponge again, still wet. Okay, so I'm going to use that end first, well, the dirty end, to lift off some colour. So we've got that light part, so I'm just going to go like that. So that's the dry bit, and then I'm just going to see what this pulls. Yeah, so there's no water on this bit. It's called a magic sponge for a reason. And then just little bits here and there. So I'm now going to go in with the wet. So it's a bit wet there. So again, just be mindful of how much you're rubbing. Yeah, so we've got that look starting now. So I'm going to put it here because we've got that whole heap of colour. So lightly, nothing major. Don't be so quick to go, oh, I want to just put bubbles everywhere. You do, but we'll add that with the colour. Okay, so at the minute I'm just want to pull out. So get your dry tissue and just wipe off, because you do get like I don't know, bits of whatever. Yeah, as you can see, it's wet and there's bits, and yeah, bit of the layer of the paper, I don't know, right? So one of them. So all I'm going to do there is wet, and I'm just going to rub just to take that rough layer off. And don't worry if you take off too much colour, because we're going to add another layer. We're adding layers on again. Okay, so we've got that sort of bubble-esque orb, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, now on this one I want the greens and purples, so let me move that out the way. And I'm going to go, because it's quite deep, I'm going to use these colours here, so the pink and the purple, and I might even put some of this blue in. The green, I might do this green to complement, so I want to look at what complements. Actually I might do that one there. Okay, so let me just take the lid off this. So these are fabulous ways to have that storage. So I've got my little brushes. Yeah, so I've got green, and I'm going to start with the green first because I want to build it in. So again, no rhyme no reason, I'm just going to plonk it down, and I'm going to do that sort of, you know, that light yellowy green that I said, oh, I quite like the look of that. So, and again, just here and there, and I'm mixing it with a little bit of a darker green as well, because now you can sort of see how that goes. Now if it's too much, use your finger, it's only pastel. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that lighter colour because I really do like that lighter colour, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of that lighter bit maybe here and a little bit there maybe. Okay, now I haven't added any white yet, so I am going to put white onto this one, but that's just in a little bit once I've got what I want with regards to the colours. So let me just pop these down. So again, think about your complementary areas. Yeah, so this one's going to be a totally different look to this one that's very subtle, but that's what we love about creating, because nothing is ever the same. Okay, so I'm just going to put that round, and I'm just going to do, in fact I'm just going to go into here, and I'm just going to go with like this magenta sort of, which you're probably not really going to see. Maybe you will, I don't know, we'll have a look in a second. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, okay, so you see there how I rub, and we've got that movement. Don't worry, because my white will take that where it needs to go. So I'm just going to put it about here, and again I'm going to do that magenta colour, a bit of blue in that, well not blue, sorry, a bit of purple, as you can see here. So we've got that darker sort of look going on now. Now what I want to do is add some white in. Now first thing I'm going to do is, yep, that one will do. And I'm going to just probably have about here. Oh dear, light to the pot. It's all right, Marie. Morning. There's no such thing as late. You're here. Hi. It's an interesting one today. So this is now white that we're putting over. Okay. So you're going to have that subtle effect. So anywhere where it's too dark for you, you're just going to pop that little bit of white. So you see how you're now getting your layers. Okay. So let's go over here. Let's pop some of that white. And I'll show you another tip in a minute if it's too dark and you think, don't like it, spoilt it. So can you see now how we're getting the layers, yeah? So I'm going to put the white up where the green is. Little dab, dab, dab here and a dab, dab there. Here a dab, there a dab. Yeah, we get it? Little bit of movement with your finger if you don't like it, if it's too much. But can you see how soft we're getting this now? So if you've got the swirls, this is where your swirls would come in really nice. And you think to yourself, wow, beautiful. Yeah. So let's just put that down here. Maybe one there. And I think maybe here. Yeah. So nice and soft, very light, very subtle. Yeah. Worth of what? That's very nice of you to say so. Now on this one that we done earlier, I am just going to pop a little bit of white strategically. I say that with my teeth in. And I'm just going to just do a little couple here and there. Some of the smaller ones, yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to do a couple up here. But whatever's on my brush now, I'm not even going to dab it in because I don't want to spoil what we've already got. So can you see the difference? Just that little bit of white. And again, if you don't like it, just rub your finger over it. Okay. So let's have a look. Now, if you really think to yourself, not sure about how that looks. Now, white. White is brilliant. White's your best friend. So I can then just start just doing a little bit of, you know, how I said about your little bit of a, you've got that arc on the brush, and all I'm going to do is just, see, look, poof, 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 poof it goes. With all that chalk in there. I'm just going to tickle the top. Now, it's white. I've dabbed it. And all I'm going to do is start from the edge, and I'm just going to bring it in. Now, that's just going to do a little bit of misting. And all I'm going to do here is just do a little bit here and there to tone down any of the harsher colour that you don't like. And this is where, if anything, just have a white pan pastel. You know, if you're able to get more than one, go for it. But you see where you've got that little bit of harshness here and then you think, that's too much. Let me just see if I can just grab, let me grab one of the actual brush, rubbers that you get with the set. So when you buy a set, you get like these, you know, planting, I got my other off, planting bulbs. So what I would say is, you know, like you have the curved roundy one. I've got one somewhere, but I done a workshop yesterday and I don't know where I've put it. So it's somewhere. But these are brilliant. So you can have makeup brushes, you can have whatever. So I've just put a little bit of white on that. Now, you can be as brave as you like, but you know, to tone your colour down, all you've got to do is just take it through, just nice and lightly, and already it's toning down. Now, if you like the vibrancy of it, leave it, don't touch it. But if you think to yourself, well, you know, something that's just a little bit too much for me, white is your best friend with pan pastels. It will tone things down beautifully. And then if you're really brave enough, you can add colour and tone down with colour. So I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do some of that lovely sort of luminous green. And I'm going to take it here and I'm just going to bring it in and around. So again, I'm just going to dab it. And then I'm just going to sort of take it. And you see how we're getting that different colour depth. So don't be shy to mix your colours around. Because, I mean, some of you have got some beautiful paints and colours. and they just sit there. Please start experimenting with your stuff. Now, this is a luminous green I'm putting down on here. That's that colour there. And over the colours that we're putting down, look how it's changing. Yeah. So again, you've got another layer, another depth. Yeah. So don't be shy. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on that. And I'm just going to take it there and bring it into this because it looks yellowy with that peachy colour. Yeah. So can you see how different we've got that? Now, I'm going to, bless you, say morning to everybody. I'm just going to put the lid on that now. So let's put that out the way. So there's your pan pastels done. So let me move all this out the way. Let's put these out the way. Let's put them over there. Let's put that over there. So we've got two very different styles. Now, let me just, have I got anything? Oh, look at that. I've got a white piece of paper. Go on. Now, on this one, I like that. So I know I'm going to do something on it. I know I like that one as well. So that's your first one. So I like them colours, yeah? So I'm going to leave them. Now, these are the ones where I'm going to experiment. And experimenting with me is water. Now, I'm going to start with this one first because there's a lot of pan pastels on it. And again, once you're finished, you can spray it. You can fix it with roller downy fixative, hairspray if you really want to go off tangent and upset people like I normally do. Again, it's your choice. Now, let's have a look. What have I got? This one. Right, so, yeah, I'll use this one. There you go. There you are. Right, so water. Plain old water. So we've got oxides, we've got elements, we've got a bit of everything. Now, you can do a couple of different things with this. You can start to allow it to sort of bleed the colour and move it out. Or you can start dabbing a little bit here and there. Now, I've already started drying it and the effect has already taken place. So, let me just dab off. So that gives you, there we go. Look at that. Now, you see how it gives you that stain. Yeah, let me just come over to you guys. Hi, Nicola, Linda, Aniki, Ruth. So you can see that, yeah? Now, I could quite easily put a bleach on this if I wanted to, but if I got me dabber ready and I went straight on, straight off, nice and quick, again, we've got that different layer effect going on. So to me, that's pretty as it is. And you can add your swirly bits, you know, off the witchy set with the swirls and that would go on beautifully with this. Okay, so on this effect now, I'm going to do the same again, but I'm hoping to do a little bit more of a bigger blob on this one. Okay, so let's just see if I can get some big blobs of water on this. That's better. So don't shake your brush off. So on that one, because there's a lot of layers, yeah, you want to allow that blob to move your colour out to give you that stained effect, yeah. And again, you can go over it and add more layers once it's dry. But I really like the effect of that sort of, that esque shapes and that you get, that sort of outer sort of depth, outer ream to it. Now, you can leave it like that if you want to, or you know what I'm all about. See how it's drying in? Let me just get that dry because I don't want to lift the colour off. I want that effect to stay on. So let me just quickly try and get that dry. That bit's dried lovely there. Let me get this bit dry over here, just so you can see the effect, because obviously when you lift the water off, you're going to pull the ink colour out. Now, let's just, oh, we're nearly there. Let's just move. Sometimes when you move the water around, it dries a little bit quicker. You're hooked. It's just a lovely effect, and I'm just glad I can share it with you. Okay, I'm glad it's something that you find useful, you know. It's such an easy effect, but there's so many different colours. What I might do is might go through different colours with you, because you've all got different stuff. So whether it's pencils, whether it's elements, whether it's oxides, whether it's Inkology, that would be a nice one, wouldn't it? Wow, we could do some Inkology. I might do that next week. We'll do some wetting. Right, so let's look at that now. So I've dried it. Sharing's caring. How it's dried, you've kept the colour in, but you've got that effect I'm looking for, yeah? So when you look at the beautiful Dreamscape papers, there's a layer on a layer on a layer, but that layer's there, yeah? So now, if I wanted to, just a little one, very quickly, you've got to do this quick, yeah? Because you don't want to spoil. Yeah, good morning, just joined. Oh, fair enough, Susan. Good morning, sweetness. So you're going to pull off, you see how you got your dabs of white here and there? You'll pull off your layer, but if you dry it on, you keep your layer in there. And to me, that's an effect in itself. So I'm going to do it again because I want a bit more. The colours are vibrant. I'm glad you're seeing the colours. So I'm going to blob. I'm not tapping off because I want a big blob of colour on here. So again, I'm just going to dry this to give you the effect, because I think this is a different effect, but it's such an effect that is really like bam. So we've got these beautiful ones here. You can intensify adding grey. Yeah. You can really sort of, if you've got a pencil in, you can really go under it, which I might, if I've got time. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick little look. Let me just get this dry so you can see the effect. So you can see how the water's moving there. Just move it around, get that movement, because it'll dry in different ways and you'll see the texture, you know. So don't be shy. I know it's warm, you know, and if you've got no feeling in your fingers, just don't burn your fingers, okay? But the more you move it around, the quicker it dries, blah, blah, blah. Well, I found that anyway. Somebody will probably say, no, Lisa, you're chatting nonsense. But it's okay. But yeah, oh, look at that. Stunning. It's very much like a window, you know, when you look through the window pane and you've got that sort of, you know, and you want to dribble, you know. Okay, well, we're getting on off on tangent, but you get my drift, yeah? So all I'm going to do now is just going to get my tissue ready, light splatters, and I'm just going to take it off, straight off, yeah? So I just want to finish this effect. So nice and much. Now you could go around with a nice brown, scorched timber, twiggy, gathered twigs, bush corduroy, etc, etc. You could even go around with truffle if you wanted to, very lightly though, because truffle's quite a powerful colour on the elements. But look at that now. How gorgeous is that? And that's just from a few colours that we've put together. These will, oh God, wouldn't they just... excuse me. Yes, so if you made one, scan and cut it over and over again, then you got your boxes like Louise has just said. That would go absolutely beautiful. And can you just imagine some fairies, some dragons, flowers, tree line, you know? I mean, that could be looking out onto whatever. So I'm thinking, you know, something, I think we've done good here. So we've got, look at the difference from that being a plain paper to now being something it's like, wow. And then you've got this with that sort of boec, whatever you want to call it, effect. But I always just go, it's like this sort of thing, you know. Again, I love this colour combination. That colour combination is something that's going to stick with me, if I'm honest. I'm even going to take a screenshot myself of the colours I've used on that, because that is... damn, that's a good colour combination, especially for a sky, dramatic, dragons, crows, bam, pentagrams, mushrooms, whatever. Yeah, so I'm loving that. That colour combination is damn good. But this, I'm loving this. Now, I'm just going to show you this a little bit more. You guys, bless you, I am neglecting you. I'm loving how the effect of this is really, really good. Refresher, tutti frutti, yeah, totally. You see, that's looking flat to me now. And I know it's not a flat piece, but do I need a little bit of that on there? Let me just, it's just here. Let me just play around just so I get it to how I want it to. Let's have a look. We just need a big blob. Like a splatter, yeah? A splatter blob. And I think that might be what we need, yeah? Tutti frutti. Now, you see, back years ago, Tutti Frutti was on the Naughty Channel. Not that I watched the Naughty Channel, but it was on the Naughty Channel. I don't know if any of you remember that, Tutti Frutti. But yeah, them were the days. I even remember when Keith Checkers was naked on some show. That made the news. I didn't watch it, by the way, but I just thought I'd share that one with you. So let me just dry this now, because I'm thinking this has made this card. Oh, you love this. Mum loves it. That means Mum's going to rob my papers now. But this is easy for you guys to recreate. So let me just move this water around. Yeah. So remember what I said. Move your water. Get that water stain. Oh, you remember it too, Louise, do you? Yeah. Keith Checkers naked. It would look fabulous on the boxes. Yes. You see a pig. Oh, God, can you just imagine some of the... not, I know. I know. I'm sorry, Kim. It's not in my head either, but I don't know. It was just the tutti frutti bit and nakedness, and it just made me laugh. I don't know why. Sorry. What an amazing... Oh, fabulous. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're enjoying today's live tonight, Crikey. I'm wishing the day away. Right, so I've given you some food for thought now. Let me just get this green dry here in the corner. Bye, Chris. I want to see all your creations. I can't wait to see what you come up with, yeah? Okay, so let's have a look. Let me just dab off whatever's left. Oh, no, that's good. So, look how that's gone now. So I'm really happy with that now. So I know it's a bit different to how it started. Let me have a look. Have I got a clean? Let me get a clean bit of paper. Oh, here we go. Okay, sorted tickety-boo. There we go. So my beauts. So I'm going to show you what I've used, just in case you've only just come to the party. Hello, party people. Two really easy techniques with water, no bleach. We've used a stencil. We've used pan pastels. Yeah, use what you've got. This is the stencil we've used, which is one of the Lavinia's. So on this one, where we've got that light array of writing, and again, if you want to put your swirls on, use this again, but make sure it's the second or third generation where it's just running through lightly. Or you could even emboss it. You could do clear embossing, you could do white embossing to get that effect, yeah. But those water splodges, if you let it dry into the card, you get that lovely edge. Now, have I got a pencil? Just to show you quickly, because I think it was it Kim that said about you can just quite easily just bring some of the edges out. You can go round and just pop it a little bit more in depth if you wanted to. But I like what I've got. So again, if you've got that, you know, you can bring it out with a fine liner. So the colours I used for this, I used the VersaFine Clair Warm Breeze. So there's your information there. Okay. And the colour palette that I used there were all oxides, crackled pistachio, peacock feathers, wilted violet, pickled raspberry, lumberjack, and rusty hinge. And they're for you lot, just in case I don't leave you guys out, but that's actually there, so I'm sure you can see that. So that was those that we've done. This beauty, which I'm really loving it, but to be fair, that's growing on me, especially the water one. That's really growing on me. So that I'm going to have a really nice image, maybe some trees and some proper bam sort of moments. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit excited. But I like what we've got there. And again, we've used the same techniques on this as for those. This was more water. This is more softer blending. Okay. So the colours we used on these, which I must say are my, by Chris, are my favourite. The VersaFine Clair was lilac blue, which was very, very light on that, which is exactly what we needed. Light enough just to do. Bayonet, I'm going myself now, so don't worry. And then the colours, which were on the oxides, was Dusty Concord, Aged Mahogany, Victorian Velvet, Spiced Marmalade, and Dried Mahogany. I changed the Spiced Marmalade from, let me think, what was it? Tea Dye. Just in case you're thinking, well, that's not the photo. No, it's not the photo. I did change it, okay? And that's for you guys as well, okay? So those are the colours we used. Let me put it like that. So that's done that, just in case. But I'm really glad you've enjoyed this and you've enjoyed watching how I put these together. I'm just going to take a photo of these, and then I should just put that up as the group, just so you can recollect what we've done, so you know this is the video that you can rewatch. All right, so have a fabulous Sunday. Oh, bless you. Yes, I'm glad you're all. I can't wait to see you recreating your own colours. Unless you do the same, please, you know, tag me in your post. That'd be great. So please like, please subscribe, please share, comment. Please do comment. And thank you so much for supporting me. Okay, so I'm going to go. Let me just. Well, crikey. There we go. I'm going to make sure you're not going to diddle around and do somersaults, hopefully. That's me charging lead, because we've had to put it on charge. There we go. Thank you all so much. There you go, my sweeties. So that's what I'm going to put the photo up of. And there, just before I go, just in case you need the colours again. There you go. Okay. Right, so that's that done. Thank you, YouTube.